This is a big year for Dungeons and Dragons Online. Therefore, apparently, I'm going to be making more videos than I thought. So right now we're going to take a look at what's coming up in Dungeons and Dragons 20th Anniversary Tokens Rewards list. And that list has been published on DDO.com. So let's bring that up right now. Boom! Alright, it says that when update 78 Natural 20 is released, every character will get a 20th Anniversary Reward token to claim a reward. Need help to decide? Check this guide. Check this guide. Alright, the list. Every character on every server will get a token in their inventory when they first log in that can be exchanged for an item from an incredible list of named items. And that's going to make me very busy. I have characters on every server. We will take a 20th anniversary token to Mina de Kandarik, located at Anniversary Island, to exchange the token for a reward. The 20th anniversary token can only be redeemed for a reward while the 20th anniversary event is active. I will be busy the very first day. The anniversary event will be active through the 31st of March 2026. We can access Anniversary Island by speaking with Fred. You know, the guy on my picture, that Fred. In House Jurassica or in House Fairlane by the 10th anniversary event. Each token and every item in this list is bound to character. See the full list below. And I still have to create a couple of characters because I'm doing a lot of bank tuning. But that's how it's going to be. I always play my bank tunes, especially with the increase now in character storage. I find it easy just to have a character ready to go to run with just about anyone I want to run with. So I'm going to be turning in a lot of these. All right, so the first one is 200,000 XP. And that's a lot of XP, but it's only a tenth of a first life. It's I know if you're on a first life character and you didn't use veteran status 1 or 2, and you're using this to catch up, this doesn't seem like a really great thing to get. It's a lot of XP, but is it wowie zowie? I don't. This is more like, well, this character already has everything, and I just want to get this life over. You know, I'm not feeling it, and it turns in right where you can't save it. So since you can't save it for a rainy day, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. All right, next up is the aspect of the Wild Hunt. Gives you bone paws. You gain piercing damage and +1 weapon damage. Constitution 13 and double strike and elemental resistance 45. I might have 1 or 2 druids that are going to be looking into this. Recently I found out that radioactive bear is a very good bear. I can see my druids picking this. Constitution on the head might involve a little bit of gear Tetris, but bone paws, all that double strike, and that elemental resistance, all are super tasty. Very much so if you only play druid at endgame, really. Most players will not be taking this unless they have a druid ready for it. Next up is the Belt of Braided Beards. This I was farming this at one point for a particular character, and just for the teleport clicky alone, I still may pick it up on her. Just because I kind of want to complete that. That character was supposed to have this. It has intelligence 13. Not the highest you can get anymore, but still pretty good. That spell resistance looks pretty nice. The lesser displacement. And acid and cold 50. That you can always use the augment slots to slot in some 45s for the other ones. This is still a really decent choice, even though it's the level 26 item. I probably will not be picking this up on anyone other than the character who was grinding for it at the time, but I will be picking up at least one. Next up is the Blue Scale Guides. I have not looked at this yet. Do not even know where this is from. They're a glove. They have Efficient Metamagic Emboldened 2. Magical Efficiency 10. Quality Mystical Diversion 4. Profane Well-Rounded. Nowadays, if you're a caster, it's almost more efficient for you to run Reaper so you can get Lost Souls, even Reaper 1. I'm not too sure you need all that efficiency, but it is still pretty good. Once again, this is something I really wish I could pick up on my druids, but maybe even more so on an elemental druid if I build one in the future, which means the future is now, and I should build one now and pick this up. Still, it's kind of down on the list for me. All right, Bracers of the Mountain is the next one listed. Physical Sheltering 34, Insightful Physical Sheltering 16, Spell Penetration 5, Petrification Immunity. Well, obviously, if you love to run the Aranda's Fall raid, you need this. It's pretty good. This is a wrist item. It's bracers. I guess if you're building a tank, it could be useful. Or if you're trying to complete the Mountain Skin set. But I'm not really feeling this. I might pick this up on my Dwarven Paltificer. Or at least one of them. But I'm not feeling this very hard. I'll have to look into it a little bit more. A lot of these things, since I never really got to do a whole lot of raiding, I'm kind of looking at for the first time. But I'm looking at that and going like, well, unless I'm trying to build a dedicated tank, I'm not feeling that. It's not. It's not giving me the fizz, as James May would put it. All right, next up is Citadel's Gaze. Insight 126, Intimidate 20, Command all on the head with Healer's Bounty. Very good tank item. Very, very good, especially if you're building an Intimidate tank. I only have one Intimidate tank. I'm not really good at it. He's a first life. I think there are better ways for me to, or better items for me to use out of this box, even on him. But if you're an endgame Intimidate, and you don't have this yet, you'll want it. You'll want it. Constellation, the Cursed Blade, the Great Sword. How I wish this was the Bastard Sword. I really don't want the Bastard Sword. I'm still grinding for it. I saw Constellation. I was all like, oh, have the other one? And no. Oh. Still, it's nearly finished. Cursed Maelstrom. Improved Destruction. I have a couple of great sword wielders that are pretty much sitting at cap who may want this. Um, I'll have to look around. I have to look in particular, but this would be a good choice for either, yeah, for any of them. Um, I'm leaning more toward the paladin rather than the cleric fighter. But even as a glamour, the constellation swords do look great. All right, next up is the cracked core. Insightful constitution, quality constitution, very good. Soundproof. That's becoming actually more of an issue than you would think. A lot more monsters nowadays throw out sound bursts and other things with sonic stunning effects, so that's not too bad. Chemical conservation. This item modifies the user's energy expenditure in a way that many abilities can be used more frequently than normal. You will gain +1 ki on every successful attack, and you will increase the number of action boosts, turn on data attempts, and bard songs you use by rest by 1 each. These effects will only happen after you rest. If it wasn't on the neck, I would say this would be a pretty grabbable object for several of my characters. I would not be surprised to find out if this is something that my wife, who plays a monk, picks. She's always looking for more ways to regenerate ki. And I don't know if that's changed after the monk effects. I guess I should have. Well, if I knew about these items before I started taking a look at them, I would have asked first. But kind of getting this on the fly. I would not be surprised to see that she would take it, and I might take it from my own monk because basically built it using her design, and I do think that Constitution is on the neck. And with all that insightful and quality, maybe throwing a +14 at endgame in there would not be half bad. Next up is the Dark Diversion. Occultation. This goes once again. This is a neck item. Occultation is 20% enhancement bonus to decrease threat generated. Assassinate 15, hide 20, move silently 20. Definitely a sneaky rogue thing. It's only level 26. I'm not feeling it. Even on my rogues. It's just so hard to get true sneak attacks and assassinates, and you gotta be with a team anyway. And I'm primarily a solo player. I can't see me using this at all. I do not know how people who party with rogues are actually using these abilities. So let me know in the comments, I suppose, because as far as I know, this item is nifty, but yeah, I'm not feeling it. All right, Dr. Lifestone's hunting horn. It's not what I read when I first looked down, but I looked down too quick. I thought that said healing ham. Yeah, that would have been funny. Dr. Lifestone's hunting horn. Summon legendary dinosaur. Oh, it's a trinket too. Oh, it's a trinket. All right. Yeah. A tremendously powerful dinosaur to fight for you for a brief time. It's not a pet. It's more like bring this out to waste an enemy and for probably like 20 seconds at most. Constitution 14, Sheltering 35, Deception 11, Speed 30. These are all pretty good. I'm pretty sure this spell is just that spell up there. The Dread Isles Curse set. This is tasty. This. If I decide to build, I'm gonna be. I would be. I was beginning to look at building um, an Isle set, and if I get one out before the anniversary party goes, this this might end up being on the character who uses it. It depends on what I can build out of. I really haven't taken a hard look into either Lamortia or dinosaur bone stuff because it's very involved, and I know you can do great things with it, but I have so many, so many irons in the fire. It's easier for me to grind out sets that are fixed rather than stuff that I need to craft and fiddle around with to get the right thing. So, but something like this looking pretty good. Might have to take a look at this. The Dull Dagger. Well, I have 2 dagger wielding characters. Is this something I'm going to add? It has plus 15. That's kind of impressive. Keen is doubling. Cold Iron. And of course, there are 2 augment slots. I'm still not feeling this. Is there something I am missing? Let's take a look at this. I mean, the base damage rating is really high. I would assume that's due more to the Keen than anything else. It's 1d4 still, so they're not giving you a bump up there. If it was a 1d6, I'd be all like, okay, I kind of get it. I don't know if the initial damage, the 4.8, is a boost. Sorry about that. When I talk for an extended period of time, especially when I'm sitting down, I do tend to yawn a bit. It's as I get older, it's a little bit of the weakness of the lungs. I'm glad I never got the COVID. Otherwise, I'd probably be in real trouble. I'm still just not feeling this. I don't see me picking this up. So we'll put the Dull Dagger in the not for me category. Hey, Demolthon's Bracers. I can remember when these were being grinded out by everybody and their mom. Natural Armor 13, Elemental Resistance 45. That's good. That's still good. Sheltering 33, not the top, but still pretty good. Dex 13. These are good bracers. If you still haven't picked these up from the Aglarasa raid, get them now. That's a good bracer. It's still a good bracer. It would be better if instead of blue and yellow, it had been green and yellow, but that might have been given away the store. If they were level 33, they definitely have a green. That's the only change. Sheltering 35, Dex 14, and a green augment slot. That would be perfect. All right. Echo of the Sun Sword. It's a short sword. I don't use them. I will be getting one because I will be glamoring this. One of my characters is going to go home without a piece of gear they can use because I need this too much as a glamour. I actually have a couple of transfer tunes that I was getting ready to delete. I'm not. They're picking this up, but to be honest, to get one for free, I may even just build a short sword tune. This to get one for free, even if it's waiting for me at cap, this is worth it. I just made to even do that. But no matter what, the glamour of this is phenomenal, and I would like one. The Eclipse itself, it is a quarterstaff, plus 15, nearly finished. Sorry. Quality, potency, spell lore, spell focus, arcane augmentation. I do not have any dedicated spellcaster. Oh, no, wait, I do have one. I might pick up one of these because I do have one. Usually I build my spellcasters, especially my arcanes, a little bit oddly. But I do have one that I did build normally. And he may end up with this. That is a lot of spell power to put on an item. So I think it's not unreasonable if you're a dedicated spellcaster, especially one who used quarter saves, to pick this up. That's especially if you don't already have it. The Ethereal Gaze. Nimble skills. That's a lot of nimble skills. That's tempting just for all the nimble skills. Wow, that's just basically a pick any lock, disable any trap, swap out item. And even though my main is an artificer who could use it, I don't see him pulling this. But I can see myself trying this out on one of my first lifers who may not have the additional bonuses. This is really, really good for something like that. And because it's on the eyes, I usually use that for a one step, but I can see the ones that you are swapping out. I think it's Charisma and Bright Gaze. I can see them moving to a different minor artifact to use this because I haven't really improved any of my minor artifacts, so I might be picking up a couple of these. Fate, knower of all. What even is this? I mean, I know it's a returning dagger. It's plus 15. Pick a card. Sovereign Vorpal. Vorpal is not as good as it used to be. Especially at higher levels. I mean, no, lower levels. It can still be king, but at above about level 25, I never really see it really. Improved deception, meddling, and two combat augment slots. I'll probably pull this from my alchemist. I'm interested what pick a card does. I do plan on rebuilding my alchemist here shortly. I know I've made mistakes. And I'd like to, make sure that he gets a fair shake. And I love Trash Dagger, but at the end of the day, it's still, it's still Trash Dagger. Oh, that pick card does look tempting, though. I gotta look up what that means. All right, heavy crossbow, the hallowed splinters, nearly finished. Mind Tear. Holy Six and blunted ammunition. I do have an Inquisitive. I can see myself pulling this out on him. I don't think I've really picked a endgame standard crossbow, other than of course Golden Age weapons. But right now, with the way I'm sitting, I would eat a heavy crossbow Golden Age to get something I use more of. I really only have the one Inquisitive. Is Mind Tear enough? It would be on my Inquisitive, I think, because it is a combat cleric Inquisitive. He uses a lot of things that would, a lot of spells like the Searing Light. There it is. You know, the ray effects and the light effects. I can probably honestly now say, talking myself into it, I'm going to pick up at least one. The Heart of Sulamades, a trinket with quality con 3, resistance 11, Devil's Blood. While equipped, grants you some of the innate protections of a Horn Devil. You are warded against curses, poisons, and fear. That magical poisons? Devil Bones 23 does 23% to fire and evil absorption. Situationally useful. Something good for a man who has everything or a woman who has everything but this. It is a minor artifact, so if you already have an artifact of choice, not for you, probably. Not the worst thing. I don't feel myself pulling one of these though. I don't. It's not really giving me the fizz. The Mantle of Suleimani's bonus though. If I had another one to go with it though, maybe. Double strike and double shot. I could see if I that, especially on my Tiefling Artificer, who I might actually have to unpack on the wrong server. That would be a shame though. Helm of the Hunter. Head. Eversight. True Seeing and Immune to Blindness. It's a good little combo, but not that hard to get on each on their separate things. Druidic Survival Mastery. When wild shape, you receive a primal bonus to damage equal to half the number of wilderness feats you have. Very good. Druidic Stone Shape. When in wild shape, you receive a primal bonus to PR for half the number of wilderness. Alright. Why are you throwing this stuff at me? Quality Combat Mastery 3. That's really good on my bear. It's Sophie's Choice all over again. To pull a joke from Rich Burlew. Yeah, it's going to be a hard choice. This obviously would be just as good for my druids. Hersim's Fiddle. Orb. This could be either spring or winter. Or bonus, sounding, good luck 5, resonance 77, insightful, quality, resonance 38, inspiration of the fiddle. Oh, inspiration of the inferno. It just changes your thing. I don't have a bard that uses an orb. But I could. I might rebuild one of my bards to be an orb one just for this. To be, the middle, the fiddle master. Middle faster! The fiddle master. It's a great spoonerism. I like my bards to be a little bit more combat-y, though. Rather than last to be, I guess. But I'll probably pick up one, no matter what. Once again, maybe the Tiefling. Another orb, we've got a Kelkus Volatile Mixture. We have a 15 orb bonus. Utter Disintegration Guard. Do the guards work? Legendary Nightmare Guard. Do the guards work? Legendary Virulent Poison Guard. Do the guards work? Legendary Air Guard. You heard it before. The Golden Curse. It's another guard. But I know this is the defensive one, which provides the gold skin effect. So in orbit wants to be a shield, but it isn't necessarily is one. I do have one sorcerer though who does wield an orb. No, she's a wizard. But she does wield an orb, and she did take Eldritch Knight. Probably pick it up on her, just to see just to watch all those guards go up. I think that would be fun. So really, I don't see anything that's really good for her. I think I would put it on that character. So I'll probably pick up one. Yeah, talk myself into it. Epic Litany of the Dead. Taint of Evil. Ability bonus. +2 profane to all abilities. +4 profane. Attack and damage. Light of Dawn. 10 to 60 riposte light damage. The one character you could probably use is the one character that the other orb would be better for. Oh, it's a trinket anyway. It's a trinket. I would need a chaos cast. Well, I have a couple of chaos. Yeah, I'll probably pick one of these up on my chaos monsters. I forgot I had done a couple of chaos monsters. So I'll probably put this on like Vic or Felix or one of them. Wouldn't hurt. Wouldn't hurt. Could talk myself into one. The Lunar Eclipse, a tower shield. I currently have one character who uses a tower shield. Is this good enough for her? +15 enhancement, alignment, absorption 22. Not bad. Quality Constitution 3. She already gets that though. Insightful physical sheltering 17. Mirror shield. While actively blocking, 50 insight bonus to magical resistance rating. Green purple. I'll have to look at her. I couldn't tell you right now. It turns out I actually have two. I forgot about the cleric fighter that uses one. But I think that the cleric fighter one would want the healing amp tower shield, so it would have to be the Dragonborn or nothing. I'll have to look into this. I'm not really feeling it, but I might change my mind. The Mantle of Escher clothing. +15, Death Block, Ghostly, Physical Sheltering 34, Profane, Well-Rounded. I get this everywhere else, and unless this looks really good as a glamour, I'm not getting this. This is not going to happen. Yeah, I can't see it. Meridian Fragment. Oh, I know who's picking up these. But he doesn't play Spellcaster, but he likes augments. Minus 6 SP cost to maximize spells, so you have to have them maximized. You take damage, 8 psionic bonus to universal spell power. I don't think just making it even 10. That being said, can't really see myself taking this. It's nifty, but there's just so much good stuff that almost every tune I have could do better than Augment. Palmera's Memento. It is a ring. Insightful Spell Lore 5. Frozen Storm Lore 22. Power of the Frozen Storm. Cold Absorption. I actually have a tune who might want that. Yeah. I have a Lightning, basically an Air Sork whose secondary is cold through Primal Avatar. And that would not be a bad choice. I might play Gear Tetris with her to see if I can use that. Quiver of Alacrity. We all know what it does. A lot of you are going to be taking it. You upgrade it. It's 30% striding at level 1 every life. That's super good. Range Alacrity. I don't worry now about that too much. I still have old Kenneth crafting trinkets that I've given ranged alacrity to. They get used at level 3. This is not as crunch for me, but I could see a big spike in Abbott runs looking for the upgrade after the anniversary event starts. I have to admit it's tempting. The epic Quiver of Alacrity, yeah, not as good. That concentration minus 50 is a big hurt. Everything else is great. That minus 50 to concentration, though. Weak sauce. The Repulsor Boots. Enhanced jet propulsion. Speed 30. Mighty skills boost. And insightful in quality and feather falling. Jump and swim. No, we don't need that. I mean, these are basically nothing here you don't really get with the Kenneth boots of propulsion. They ain't that hard to get. No. I'm sorry, the repulsor boots are just something I can't see anyone wasting this token on. And it's one of the first items I can honestly say this feels like a waste. Sorry. The Rune Lodestone. Sight beyond sight. When you can see through all veils, piercing magical and mundane defenses alike. Plus 5% enhancement bonus to dodge bypass. Okay. Eversight. Pierce cold islands iron. Cold iron, not island. And spell saves. Not the best, not the worst. I can't really see myself picking this one up, though. I can get almost all of that somewhere else, and usually on not raid gear. I don't know. Maybe there are one or two characters I could put it on, but I'm not feeling this. All right, Sightless, True Seeing once again. Life Seal 34. That's nice. Range power 6, melee power 6. Seems low. Sheltering 33, Constitution 13. Even at level 26, that seems wicked low. Shouldn't that be like at least 10? I don't know. It's ahead. I've got one or two rangers who might put this on. I'm not feeling it too hard, but maybe one character. The Silver Dragon Scale Capelet. Nearly finished. Dodge 13. Insightful Sheltering 8. 18. Shining Silver Scales. The cloak is fashioned from shining silver dragon scale and is warded against the cold. Unless it looks good and is good for a glamour, probably not picking this up. But it is a capelet, and I do like my capelets. My bard, Alice Thane, he wears one. I might pick up a deletable character for this. I don't know. We'll see. The Spear of the Mournlands. We've got plus 15 enhancement, Touch of the Mournlands. Fetters of Unreality. Oh wait, well let's see what Touch of the Mournlands. Once wielded by the Lord of Blades himself, taints every wound. More difficult to heal and repair. And Quelling Strike. Fetters of Unreality. Cruel and deadly and leaves behind wounds that affect both the body and the soul. Multiple stacks of Vulnerable. Keen, Improved Destruction, and Amantine. I'm almost definitely picking this up for my quarterstaff wielding half-orc. That looks like something that's kind of got to be a must-have, if only for her. Storm in a Bottle, a trinket, Storm Rage. Gain Featherfall and deflect arrows for 12 seconds. Whenever you damage an enemy with attacks, they are also struck by lightning. For each enemy, lightning only strikes once. Elemental Resistance 45, Reflex 12, Dodge 13. I've got a couple of characters. Probably could use that pretty well. But I am bad with clickies like this, combat clickies like this. Can I be good enough to remember it? Well, with 10 clickies, I might be able to be encouraged to look at it just a little bit harder. This is definitely a right character at the right time pickup for me. Can't guarantee I'm going to pick up one. I might I have so many characters though. I might try to experiment with one and this. So it's got potential. Tale of Sulamade. So a falcon. Plus 15, Harness Lightning, Keen, Sovereign Vorpal, and Aligned. See, now, if I pick Constellation on one, I should pick this one on the other. But the problem is, both those characters need favored weapons, and you don't get Falcon. You only get Greatsword. Do I have a character? Well, you know, if I end up having a character that can use this, I definitely would pick this up. I'm not too sure that I do though. Some weapon types have just not kept up with my playstyle. So, as good as this is, this might actually get left behind. Legendary Tobin's Hammer. We're picking one or two of these up. This is definitely going on my crafting artificer. I'm sorry. This is just a really, really good electrical rune arm. And I'll probably never get a chance to pick one up in a raid. Maybe I will. Who knows? Maybe I will. I'm raiding a little bit more. Maybe I can talk uh, the guild I'm running with into throwing down for a. I presume it's Master Artificer raid. But I can't pass this up for my. I do have a character who's trying to collect all the rune arms. So I can't pass this up. Not going to happen. Definitely picking up at least one, maybe more. Vestments of Ravenloft, plus 15. Deathblock Ghostly, Physical Sheltering 34, and Profane Well Rounded. I get these things everywhere else. And as good as they are all on one item, I honestly can't see myself picking this up on anybody. Every one of those effects is much easier to get on other items. And I don't see any benefit in consolidating those particular effects on one item. It's not. I can't say no, but it's probably not happening. And Void the Endless Cold. The Longbow. Plus 15 enhancement bonus. Frozen Aether was forged of malevolent ice, and enemies struck with it are affected by its curse. Yes, a weapon can inflict 10 stacks of cold damage over time, one stack expiring at a time, with cold vulnerability and chilling 6. Yes, I'm picking this up on my main ranger. Maybe even both. Maybe even both. But I'll probably end up respecing one to be, instead of acid, to be strictly cold. I don't see how that changes anything about them. So, but definitely one of them probably get a second life. Ooh, that would almost have to be the. Yeah, I'll have to be careful because one of them already has second life. I don't want to dump them any. Let's just say that they've already got a pretty full reincarnation cache. All right, so that's a look at the 20th anniversary reward tokens. There's lots of great stuff. Very, very little filler here. The only ones I can see myself calling filler is basically the Vestments of Ravenloft. I can't see it being a huge draw for anybody unless you want it for the glamour and you like that look. The repulsor boots, no one. The epic quiver of alacrity. Everyone wants the original. The OG. The OG's too good. Why would you take it? And maybe the Meridian Fragment. I can see some people wanting it, but compared to everything else, it seems to be definitely on the lower tier. All right, so that's coming up in a couple of weeks. We're looking forward to our freebies. And with that, this is me, Doug Lindauer. Hoping you guys have a great 20th anniversary. Get yourself some gear.